10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Bulavinaka, welcome to the Family Table Talk at 7:30 a.m. every Saturday mornings. Well, we have been really blessed to be out in the Western Division. It's so beautiful out here. And we are currently at a place that is so beautiful that we would like to talk about today. So first, we would like to say welcome to the show once again after last week. And to those of you that are tuning in outside of Fiji, receiving a lot of feedback following the program, we would like to say, Mbulavinaka, thank you for being part of this program every Saturday morning. Like what we always say, it's not perfection for us to be saying that whatever we say, it's must do. But there are little tips that will help us for just to take our cue. If you have been doing it already, we would like to say congratulations and thank you, because we can learn from you as well. Well, we are so blessed just to be here. We came down to the Western Division yesterday, and the weather, it has been raining, even flooded the roads as you drive through during the day, but yet it doesn't fail, the sun. It comes in faithfully every morning, and it's just so beautiful. So we would like to welcome you. We're actually at the Crown Plaza, they call it, but it used to be Pullman before. Out in, if you know Nandi, it's Wailoloa side, Wailoloa Beach side. So we would like to welcome you. Like what I said, we have all our crew here, and thank you for being faithful, coming all the way from Suva to bring across to the nation and also globally this setup this morning that we usually have it in Suva.
Vamos a weekend na bago tu na vikor wamiti yang matakan sa nindai weekend na sa tinigabay ng Tuanua sa bakang bulat tugani sa sabara and singa binakan ni kuwa wala ka tuwi Newtown si Wailoloa Junction na tos tungame ya sari Newtown una ni wai bi baka balta kini si elevation wala ka tuwi na Newtown Beach atiko kina na North Station ni orto na Turtle Airways. O bang bulat tu kan weekend na turang na marama dorbo na manelawa nrakine sa magara na kata tu na mataka yale rua tol na kaloko na kabi ndaw taw na uda taw bi sartiko me bakanga na kara tu mai kurin ndaw ni nraki en siga kani kuwa ya sa bang bulat tu kan sini ko talebi weekend na nonda la ko na makete weekend and la ko sargito e da tu ko inandi na nawaka sevens sine tu na rara na noa kito tu ko korevolu na bibalutaki weekend bito sa kinduindu kenda na laukina kero sa bakang bulat tugan si binangan ni kuwa do na hotel ngo endo eta na tungai iliu na pulmen ye ni kuwa sa viso na dana ye sa viso talaga na lo mani hotel ke baka na rawa na do birto na pagilis-lesi ena may bosa ni weekend ena si binangan ni kuwa yan ang mantangango eto toko na breakfast endo pagaro tagitiko en na hotel binangango orto na ngoni bale orto maru tagitiko orto sa waru ya tal tungama yana ena muno ni katalau ena matakan ni singina ye weekend na baru tumai chini tumai na screen lebu se wali si platform weekend na biasa bura-bura chini tumai na Facebook karo sa torto na ngono binango me karo baka bulat tu kan weekend ena matakan ni signet tali tiko na nero t-shirt totoka tiko na rua na baka binina katuko kina vera era sponsor ta tumai na t-shirt ko mero ni karo mai ndar tu gani ena matakan ni sigani ko.
Well, we were talking about a lot of things last week, but we would like to concentrate just on this hotel for this morning before we roll out with our revamping everything that we've been talking about on the family. But this morning we want to talk about, before we have one of the hotel executives to come and speak more. Like what I said, if you have been to Pullman, you will know what we are talking about this morning. And for those of you who haven't, I would say it's a place to visit. This used to be our place, our go-to place before COVID. When they started and opened this hotel, we even had some of our ministry functions here on our retreats and our conferences. It's beautiful. What really made the difference for this time around, during COVID, I think they closed and then they had a big renovation. And not only that, I was waiting for them to open again. Somehow, I love this place. When you come in and you stay here, you would think that you are in Port Denarau for a moment. Not only until you go at the hotel and you drive out and you say, all right, I'm in Newtown and Wailoloa Beach. Yeah. But other than that, you would think that you are in Port Denarau if you're in the facilities. And according to the management yesterday, faithfully, they will come and speak more about it. They mentioned the fact that they're still having a lot of structure still going up. a lot of renovations on the desired plan that they have in months to come. That they will have 24 hours open, a few things that are happening here, a few other offerings and extension of their rooms. So it's a beautiful place. One thing that I've noticed that has changed on this time around when we came, the personalized of their service. I worked in the hotel industry. When I actually started work in 1982, I worked in the hotel. In the very first hotel that started in Port Denarau, that was the Regent of Fiji. And it was the very first hotel to be erected and the very first hotel to be opened in Fiji in that place. So I started working there when I was only 16 years old, way back in 1982, and I didn't leave until 1989. I spent about 7 years there. So looking at all the offering and everything that we were doing and the standard that it was, that's the image that I have of the hotel. And then on top of that, after leaving the hotel and working for the airline, you have the, the opportunity to travel and also check into hotels. And what I'm trying to say, like, the different offerings of the line of, this hotel line and the personalized service. For me, hotel is, it's all the same. The rooms and everything, facilities. Maybe they edge only on the food or little things that they put in the room, like the room amenities. But what really makes a difference is the personalized service, which I could say for Regent of Fiji when it started, that was very important because we actually meet as they get off the car. We personalize the service as they come in, and we have to remember their names. We have to mention their names until you take them to the room. Well, that has sort of phased out for Fiji, I would say. Maybe it's a good opportunity to be talking about tourism in Fiji as well. I've worked in the tourism industry, not only the hotel. I worked in the airline for 20 plus years, and the travel agency. So I have a very broad, knowledge and experience of what, not only as a hotelier, but the service that you can offer or the service that you can provide.
When you talk about personalized, can you just go deeper into
the personalized service? Like what I'm saying today, like a lot of hotels have, I think because of the staffing, the lack of staff to be able to do that it has phased out. And not only that, that's one thing too generally that I would like to make a comment on. Like for Fiji, that's one thing that I've noticed. If you come in as a local, it's sort of like, okay,
It's a local.
Yeah, like it's local. How come they're here? How come they're checking in? Like that attitude, without knowing that they're giving out that kind of attitude towards local check-in. And then if you're standing there, if you have a tourist, actual tourist, they come in and check in, the reception is totally different. It's like, yeah, the bula, yang boleh vinaka saat sarang kita filter kana mo form. Yan like, oh bula, welcome to Fiji, welcome to the hotel. So the reception is totally different. Maybe that needs to change because when COVID happens, no tourist was coming. The local became the tourist, and the local become the source of revenue to most hotels in Fiji. I could say, like during COVID or when it actually opened, the hotel service to locals automatically change. They consider you
important.
that you bring revenue.
Yes.
You bring revenue to the hotel. That attitude changed because like what I said, we traveled quite a bit and stayed in hotels, and I saw that change. They give you the attention, just the attention that they give to tourists.
Because we are the only tourists.
Because we are the only tourists, and we are the only one bringing money to the hotel. Yes. And without us coming in, there's no occupancy. Like no one is paying for those rooms. But that changed. But sadly, after COVID and everything come back to normalcy, locals sort of like, okay, mademanda. And I'm not saying that all hotels are doing it, but most of the hotels are doing that. And I think that needs to change because the locals, they have the reason to be there. It's like whenever you see locals that, okay, which freebie they're using or which staff are they using to get the discount? How come are they here? The kind of, thoughts. You don't need to say it, but your face say it all when you're there at the reception. It's one thing that I and bring it closer to home for this hotel. When we came in yesterday, because the room doesn't, you don't check into the hotel. The room doesn't get ready until 2 o'clock. It's normal for normal hotels in Fiji. But particularly, like for this, I think this hotel have just relaunched open with a name change last month or last 2 weeks, if I'm right. And when we came in yesterday, we came off the flight yesterday, so we arrived in Tenedi at about 7:30. Yeah, about 7:30. So when we came into the hotel, I knew, because I worked in the hotel, that the room will not be ready until 2 or 3. So we left our bags in the car, and we sort of just come off to come and fill the form, register, and wait around for that room to be, ready, because he was going to watch our grandson play, and not only that, because of the evangelism or the outreach we call, that's another story. We have a new outreach. If you have nothing doing and you live in Nandi, pop in at the Koroivolu Park. It's called the Sarangito outreach. So he was getting ready for that. But we were really surprised. Just as we left the car park to be walking towards the hotel, I actually saw at the corner of my eye, I saw these 2 ladies standing there, with the lay in the water. So I assumed, like in my heart, I said, maybe somebody's coming. Because we were coming from the car park to walk towards the hotel. I said, somebody's coming. For me, that's I thought. But as we approached, that somebody was actually us. They came, and they were actually doing it for everybody that were checking in, regardless whether you're local or you're a tourist. They had this bottle of Fiji water, that small size, which they greet you with. They give you a small Fiji water bottle and a lei, and they even address you by your name. So you look at it and say, like, what a good feeling. So when we walked in, like what I said, knowing fully well that the room is not going to be ready, but they direct you. They said, okay, you can go right there and, register for the room. But at that time, I had one of our people that was already here filling out the forms. And when we came to the restaurant, like for breakfast, they said, okay, we'll pay for our breakfast this morning. We'll just pop in to your dining room. Yeah. So we walked into the breakfast place, which is on my right here, to the door out. And we came because we were here before. The place has really changed. For those of you that were here when it was full, it has really completely changed. The space that you used to have once out there in the foyer, it's no longer there. It sort of looked like a little bit like a Sheraton of Fiji entrance. When you enter, and you have this water fountain. It's really beautiful. So, and we were coming to the dining room. We came to the dining room. We sat. The reception at the dining room was very good. The hostess, they call it for the breakfast. It was really personalized. And as we stood to go to, check what they have and the offering that they have, they had a head chef come out himself. Don't really know his name, one European guy. So he came, saying hello, and all the people out there, just personalizing their service, making you feel at home. It's like, you've been to this place. I know we have, but this time around was totally different.
So when you sing personalized, you become very important. Every person, not the color of your skin, where you come from, whether you're local or you're tourist overseas. For those of you that are watching this morning, when she's saying a personalized, that means you become very important as you are, as you walk into.
Not only very important. When you personalize, it's like out of all the hundreds and thousands in the hotel, personalized service means they recognize you, they know you. Like for all of our arrivals yesterday, it can be 10 plus arriving at the same time, but you become the only person, they know your name. They personalize it. They take you right down to the personal details. It's not just a service you come and say, okay, that's the hotel, that's your room, that's the road to your, paved way to your room, and that's where the breakfast is. It's still giving the service, but it's not personalized. Because when you come in and say, Bulavinaka, welcome to our hotel, Mr. and Mrs. Vulano. When they mention your name, when they recognize you, you may have not met before, but they've gone through the trouble of just understanding and knowing your name and talking to you and creating those small talk. And like what I said, in the midst of the many, you become personalized. You know that this person knows you. Like you look and say, okay, have I met this person before? Like yesterday, we haven't met that head chef. We haven't met him at all. But yesterday, when he came out and started talking about the offering, asking questions, it's like we've met them before. So out of their service and the position they hold in the hotel, when they come in and they talk to you, they personalize whatever they, like this is a setup that they've done already. I think it's their lunch or their breakfast in the morning. But they personalize it by being part of the offering that they do. So yesterday was really good. And not only that, when we came to have our breakfast, he went and brought one of their management as well, introduced him, So yesterday was really good, the conversation that we've had yesterday. And now in Fiji, this is the first Crown Plaza hotel. I know in America, nearly every corner you see them. But in Fiji, it's the first Crown Plaza. And it's owned by the same group that own Intercontinental with the Holiday Inn, GPH. They are called the IHG group, which means, there are other things you can talk about there. As and when you book for your room, there is a IHG membership that you can sign up on. So wherever you go in their chain of hotels, points build up. And you can also, tag on that as and when you do your booking. And sometimes you end up not paying for one of the room in one of the nights because of the points that you can collect along the way. And I would say it's beautiful out here because we have invited one of them to come and give a spiel. As and when that person come in, then, they will.
You are talking about the hotel, the room the same, the food roughly the same. And she's saying it's the service that makes the difference. Something like plane. You walk into the plane, they are all Airbus or 380 or 350, they are all Airbus. So the plane inside, they are all the same. It's the personal service that makes the difference. And that's why when we came the second time, it's totally different. We've been down in Fiji and also overseas. And you really know when people are personalizing their service and this hotel this time around.
So we would like to invite you, if you're coming out to the Western Division, try this hotel out. It's really beautiful. And one thing that we've always spoken about as family is their rooms. Their mattress and their pillow. It makes you forget that there is a morning. How are you? Jump into that bed, that's it. Your body just rests. I don't know. I'm very particular with my pillows. I'm very particular with my bed. But I would say for all the hotels in Fiji, when we came in and it was Pullman, they still have the same bed and the same pillows. Pullman was the best in terms of their in terms of their pillows. I don't know. There's something different about it. I can compare it to one hotel in New Zealand. I don't know whether you remember that, in Karaka. There was Hilton in Karaka. And thank you, Auntie Cara. She booked us there. We actually had our service there. And when you stay in the room or when you're on the bed, you forget. You just want to stay there. And I know, most of you that are tuning in today may be saying, okay, what are they talking about? I haven't even been to any hotel. Well, this is for you people that go for work, you go for duty travel, or sometimes you can afford just to bring out your family and have a time out for your family. And that's one thing that we have started. When I left the airline, that was one of the things that I wanted to do. Have always wanted to do, but I'm always busy, not only in the office, but the travel when it comes to the ministry or the work that we do for the church. But when I left, I made it, a point that I will spend more time with my family, and that includes taking them with me wherever I go. So I started that way back in 2012. Yeah, it's going for nearly 12 years now. As and when I take them out locally, or I've taken them to Singapore, taken them to Israel, I save for that and I take them. And that is why I'm talking about what I'm talking about today. Sometimes we get good money, you people get good pay, but it's just managing that you should find some time to take your family out. It's nice when you're taking them out for dinner. If you can afford, try and save up. There are other places. Before we used to come, there's nice clubhouses here at Wailolo Beach that we came and have our crew come and stay in as well, just further down the road. And there are a lot of places that are economical that you can, you don't have any excuse in not bringing out your family. There are even day cruises that you can just drive from Suva in the morning, go out for the day cruise, come back at about 4 or 5 in the evening, and then you drive back to Suva if you want to, but you can stay and lay over in Nandi. There's a lot of good places. What I'm trying to say, for family, let us try for 2024 for you to save up and take your family. And you may say, I'm too busy to be doing that. The money that I make is enough to bring food onto the table, have them have good clothes, and have shelter or roof above their heads. And that is normal. That is our duty as parents. But when you save up and you do little things, maybe once in a year to try and take them out,
once in a year.
or you'll be surprised the legacy that you leave with your children, and they will always remember. My grandchildren, they remember every moment. They remember every year. They remember the year where we went to, and even during COVID, managed to save up a bit, and we went on the Captain Cook cruise with the help of my FNPF money, and it was beautiful. So they've always talked about the Captain Cook cruises until then. Whenever they see the ad comes on, they say, oh, we've been there. Oh, that was really beautiful on that island. Like the legacy that you create with your family, that when you pass on, they will always remember the moments you spend with them. They will not talk about the food on the table. They will not talk about the roof above their heads, but they will talk about the little things that you do together, and they have your undivided attention on them. Well, back to the hotel. Are we still waiting for the person to come in?
Yeah,
I think we're still waiting.
Still arranging for somebody to come.
Well, as and when that person come in, and then we'll just get them to come and give their spiel. But I'll give this time to Gasebo, whatever that he wants to say about the hotel. But it's really beautiful. You need to try it out. It's beautiful out here.
I love the hotel, the swimming pool. You got quite different swimming pool for adults, even for children. And it's big swimming pool. And still, they are building more swimming pool. And I believe the head chef yesterday was talking about it. Other part of development, they have a swimming pool just next to your bedroom.
Yeah.
How beautiful is that? And I believe a lot of people that come from overseas, they love the swimming pool. Sometimes the sea and the beach is just on the edge of this hotel. We are only about 400 meters from Newtown. And on our left is Wailoloa. And the beautiful sunset normally comes out when you are outside this hotel. So for those of you that are in Suva looking for accommodation around Inadi, when you're in this hotel, you think that you are in Denarau. The setup in this hotel, the room, the upgrade from the last time before COVID when we normally come here is totally different. So we are promoting this hotel this morning because we are just sharing from a beautiful restaurant, and our grandchildren and our children are having breakfast at the moment. So whether you are having your breakfast or preparing for your breakfast, we are trying to share with you this wonderful morning.
And the attraction is the rate that you pay for your room includes breakfast. So it's a free breakfast. Breakfast comes with the rate that you pay for your room. And it's really beautiful, I would say. It's not as, like looking at the place, you would think that the rooms are very, very expensive, but they are really not. And imagine, when you pay for that room, it includes your free breakfast. And the breakfast is buffet. Just like if you're in Suva, you walk into a Holiday Inn or GPH, the range of the breakfast and buffet, it's really beautiful. And it's free. That comes with your room. And even yesterday, we went out a bit with my grandchildren. I went with my son and his family. So we just went out, driving around, they took their scooters and their skateboard. And one thing about this place is the space. Like you can be having your breakfast, and these two, like they go to town, going up and down, because the space, it's really beautiful. And so yesterday, like just having the time to sit there while they skate and go around in their scooters. And when we came back, and then yet again, you see them all dressed up in their Fijian outfit and singing, just on the entrance, and waiting on you if you need any help for your stuff to be taken. And I was really surprised. I saw one of our youth back in Suva, Tukana, singing away with her stomach and all his Fijian outfit, really looking out there, and I said, okay, right. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful, like it's personalized. And even when they come to the room for everything that you need, they will always come in and address you by your name. Like they personalize it. They know your name. And I think enough talking about the hotel here. So we'll have somebody to come and speak as and when that person comes in and give more spiel to this, like what he said. The extension is still going. You can still see a lot of steel structures going up. But for the hotel chain of rooms, extra rooms onto my right, according to them, that lane or that row of hotel will have swimming pool right next to it, which means you come up from your door, you dive into your pool. Oh, how beautiful is that? I'm not a pool person. I've gone past my days of swimming in the pool. But for those of you who love swimming pool and especially at this time, it's so hot. Like even when there is no sunshine, you feel so like you still sweat because of the humid.
Well,
Yeah.
that's one thing that we need to talk about today. The weather changing
Yeah.
that we are facing right now, not only in Fiji, it's right across the globe.
Yeah.
The weather pattern is really changed. Very, very significant
Yeah.
that people are noticing the high temperature
Floods.
and the flood and the humidity is very high. Normally when you wake up in the morning, you will see clear sky. That means only few vapor going up to the air to form the cloud. But yesterday we flew from Nosori. We flew into thick cloud until we come on the western side. That means the global warming is something that is real in every aspect. Not only the rising of the sea level, but the yesterday I was in the ground in Prince Charles Park. No, it was breezy and beautiful trees around the ground, and even then you feel the sweat just coming out.
The humidity.
Yeah, you are just sitting there watching the game, and yet the sweat is coming out.
It's like you're playing.
Yeah, that means that the weather really changed.
Yeah.
So for us, for our take, we need to understand what is happening around us.
Yeah.
That means a lot of intake to avoid dehydration. And when we are dehydrated,
You have headaches.
headache and flu, so sickness can easily settle on us because not enough water. Some of the tips to keep you away from sick. And when you're away from sick, that means you're away from the doctor. When you're away from the doctor, that means
You're saving your money.
saving your money, because nowadays the medical charges and the medicine are skyrocketing. So it's just a way to look after our life, just understanding the weather pattern. I was talking to one doctor, when it's raining and you want to have a rain bath, don't go in the first few raindrops. When the rain starts to fall, don't have a rain bath as soon as the rain comes.
Okay.
Because that's where a lot of acid in the sky comes with the raindrops.
Okay.
So you leave it about 30 minutes or 45 minutes, then you go for your rain bath.
Depending on the length of the rain.
Yes.
Sometimes it just rained a little bit, then you can go out.
He was just talking
Yeah.
that you avoid the rain and you go out and have your rain bath because of the acid. That's where, for us, if I stand out in the open and preach and the drizzle or the rain, after that preaching, I'll come and just go shower or just we go to group to take away that raindrops on my head because of the acid that will come with the rain.
Oh, that's
All of this, he was talking on the medical aspect of the rain. So these are the tips that we must understand the weather and what is happening around us for us to keep in line with what is going on in the world today. Yeah.
Well, hydrate well and rest well. Like for me, I'm really trying to rest. I've got this problem that I'm still trying to fix. For 2024, there is. I always find trouble in going to sleep. There's a lot of things that goes on in my mind that I cannot sleep. And even when I try to sleep, I'm beginning to think, okay, what if I've done that, okay, that is still pending. So I can't stop my mind from thinking. And what I try and do is to watch the news or watch something to stop my thinking and go with the flow with what I'm watching. And even through that process, I'm still struggling. And I haven't, like, to be honest, for 2024, there's never a time that I went to sleep at about 9 or 10. I've been going to sleep at about 12, the earliest, and 2 o'clock in the morning, the latest. And up again, without your body, because my body is so, like it's trained. By 4 o'clock, I'm awake. I wake him up to go for prayers. And if I go to sleep at 3 o'clock, then I sleep. I don't wake him up, or he wakes me up. And like indirectly, what I'm trying to say, I'm struggling with my sleeping. So one of the things that I wanted to come and do for this weekend, I just want to come and sleep. I want to come and, close myself in and say that I'll stop my mind thinking and I just need to rest. Why I'm sharing this? Sometimes you get so carried away with the work that we do that we fail to acknowledge that we have a body and that body needs rest and that body needs water to hydrate. That body also needs something. Sometimes you're so busy for other people, busy organizing things, using your body, your mind, your brain, and everything about you, but you forget about yourself. I've been doing that for how many years of my life? But this year, I'm trying to come to that, decision to say, everything else is going well. As you organize, bills are paid, things are running well, but I'm not doing justice to my body and to my life, which I'm trying very much for 2024 to change. And I'm trying to slot some time as a break for me to have. And other than just going places and doing things for others and for the organization that I'm part of. And I must thank Stanley. So last week I emailed him and I said, okay, I would like to ask for your approval. At least for one day in a week, I can remotely work from home. Meaning that I want to be a normal person. I want to be a normal mbumbu and a normal nana. For my children to come back from school, they can see me. And for me to be a normal person at home. So I'm still working, but I can control that. At least one day in a week, I can do that from home. Or I can do that from anywhere. Like yesterday was my one day. I took that one day out from work. Whatever that needs to be done, I can still work on it on my email and Viber or things that needs to be done. And it has worked well. So at least I've achieved something. And I want to thank the company director for giving that approval. And I'm grabbing every moment that I can to be normal and also to do justice to myself, that I can rest and embrace that moment and also have more time with my family or with my children. Yeah, on that note, we'll go straight in, like what we said, as and when they come, and then we'll have them to come online.
I think they already said we already promoted.
Oh, yeah, okay, so...
So, a lot of people, they don't want to stand in front of the television.
Yes, they don't like the camera like this. Well, that's it. Crown Plaza is a place to visit. Crown Plaza is a place to go. And you have personalized service everywhere you go. You check in, personalized. Even at the security, when you drive through, they come out, Bula, they address you by name. And also when you enter from the reception to the dining room, you even have the hostess take you right to their, to your table, get those coffee or your selection of beverage. And the range that we have out here, which I know as well, that you don't need to be staying in the hotel to access that breakfast. Even as an outsider, if you have nothing doing on a Saturday or Saturday morning or Sunday mornings and you have some extra cash on you, you can pop in, bring your family and come and have a nice range of a buffet breakfast, which you pay here as well. Yeah. I think yesterday we paid for our breakfast because we haven't checked in yet, and that was like $30. And that $30, it comes with everything. Yeah. And not like a normal buffet only for breakfast, like sausage, egg. Yesterday. Yeah, that's what I want to say. They had curry, lamb chops. They have vegetarian curry, eggplant curry. They have a selection of curries. And they even have papadum and, prawn crackers. They have rotis. They have, what else did they have there? What's the thing that we always buy? A naan. They have the naan. And then apart from that, then they have the European offering, like in their cheese selection. They have their fruits, and they even have ice cream and stuff. It's beautiful. And it's worth the money that you can pay. Or if you're treating somebody to their birthday, bring them here. Only $30, you give them the world. They love the range that they have here. Well, that's marketing for Crown Plaza. So note it down. The only Crown Plaza ever in Fiji. It's right here. And they've just opened. Launch open, so it's no longer Pullman. Even Pullman is a range of hotel, as in when you come to Australia, New Zealand, Pullman really stands out. It's the same. And like for their Pullman in Australia and New Zealand, it's mostly with the amenities. Yeah. Like it's a self-contained units in their room. So it's no longer within the Pullman chain. Now it's under the IHG, and they call Crown Plaza. So it's a must visit, place to visit. You have to go. And if you can't make it for the next few months, try and write it down. For this year, you must pop into this place because it's beautiful. Well, on that note, we were talking at length for 2 Saturdays now on the families. And one thing I was reading last night, I was checking on something last night. checking on some flights last night, and I came through this news on the digital news. I think it was FBC. And it spoke of a 25-year-old stepfather. The caption was, "The stepfather abuses daughter." And as I read that column, which never failed to, to support the fact of what we are trying to share. And I think it's always, like we always say, okay, stepmother, we could, but the stepfathers as well. When I read through that story, this is family, and I know if people have read it as well, if you access to that. I didn't go searching for it, but it sort of like just came out last night, and I want to share it here. And in this particular incident, he's 25 years old, and I think that's very young, and married to this woman who's got a daughter. And this daughter is a daughter with special needs. So I don't really know what that special need is. But she refused to eat. She refused to eat. And in that write-up, he slapped her and burned her legs with tobacco. I don't know how, he burned her legs with tobacco and sexually assaulted her. And this young girl is only 3 years old. Last night, as I read it, I don't know, I sat up, and what really got me was the age, and I was thinking, why, that's Lekela's daughter. That's my granddaughter's age. Like that conviction, that thought. I really sat up in bed. And I was really, I don't know, I was really taken with that story when I read last night. That thought that I cannot, and because of how vulnerable that life is. And just thinking like yesterday, because they were running around, playing with the scooters and their skateboard. And the mother was sitting there watching over them while I was with their father. But every now and then, you keep on looking out because it's quite crowded where we were at. Like that thinking, like Fiji is not the Fiji that we used to know before. And I'm always looking out. I know the parents are there, but I'm always looking out for my grandchildren, especially the very young ones like that. I only trust myself to take them out. And I know their parents really look after them. But as and when I take them out, I take the whole lot of them out with my other 2 granddaughters from my daughter. And last night, when I read that story, it really made me sit up. And I just said a prayer. To imagine a little girl. I haven't met this girl, but reading the story, to imagine that little girl, same age as Lekela, bubbling and talking, and to go through that just because she refused to eat. And, got abused, slapped. And the tobacco, I don't know how that, and burn tobacco marks on her legs. And she was sexually assaulted. And she's a child with special needs. Like what I said, I don't really know what that means in terms of how bad it is. But it was noticed by one of the relatives later. And I would like to say thank you to that relative that noticed. Sometimes it's happening right there, and we don't know how bad things are. Wala weekend na ito kaya daraka sinyo non to business ngor sinindo kaya non the business non rato. Lema non kaya sa mato weekend ya. Balata na non dai toba non dai vala men dal leba non bula me baya ni ngon ave kina na langa ndo e moko se balaka ni mate okay na reito nga balata na non da bakasama ito nga weekend senga ni non da business. But awang bota ko me bisao men da kawitaka balata na bula ya eroni marroi balata ni da kawitaka yan. So obi babinaka bikoya bolitong snivole na dana bolitong a relative noticed the burnt marks on her legs and the bruises on her body, the bruises from and he reported that to the social welfare. And I would like to thank the social welfare for making it happen. So according to that write-up, they managed to take the daughter away from the mother. And now that little girl is staying with a relative and no longer with the mother. And that goes back to us mothers. And I know you want to have another shot in life. And you, like what I said last week, I I mean, even last week I mentioned the challenges when you leave your children behind and having a stepmother to come and look after them, who will be married to your husband. But last night when I read that, and I remember saying it last Saturday, make sure when you go, you take your child with you or take your children with you. But when I read that last night, and I said, man, last week I shared and said, when you go, take your children with you. And here is this woman who took her child with her, and in the process being abused by the stepfather. So the stepmothers only are not abusing the stepfathers as well. Well, I believe because it's not your own, if you're angry with anything, that is the child you're going to abuse. Whenever you are angry with each other, you will go for those children. And these other children, there's a lot of them out there. There's a lot of abused children out there. They don't hear good words. They hear swears. If anything to be done, to be sent to do, it's always these people. You will not send out your children. And up until the night, even if things needs to be done, these are the children who cop the flag. And I believe for the whole 100%, I think nearly 75% of children that comes through this kind of relationship, they go through the same abuse. Maybe not as extreme as the tobacco marks, burnt marks on her legs, but there is an element of abuse. It's like verbal abuse or being sworn at, or they don't hear good words. As soon as they wake up, they start hearing swearing for the people or the person that they are. And the sad part about it, like for these children, they never asked to come. They never even thought when they were born and happy with their parents, they never knew that one day their parents won't be together and they end up to where they are today. And that is why a lot of hurt, a lot of children have got a lot of hurt. And we talk about grounds and how, it's really making it happen in Fiji. Nearly every second person or every 1 in 10 people, they are onto grounds. And these are contributing factors as well. So when they go through abusive, home and all the things that they're going through, they look for something to give them that peace of mind. And they will, most of the time, they end up in the wrong place. Yeah. They using the wrong substance just to give them that.
It's so sad that some people that they are well educated, holding maybe good position, and yet they children to vet out story of that little child. Yeah. When you said 3 year old, first thing that came to mind was Lekilas. Yeah. A child that is not normal, and yet facing the abuse from the stepfather with the burn from tobacco, and also some slap or maybe
sexually assaulted. Yeah. So he's on. He will be hearing in court on rape, on sexual assault, and that.
So it's a lesson for us that we are talking about bringing your baggage, your luggage to the new relationship. It's happening everywhere, and if we are not prepared, if we are not careful, we must be always on the watch all the time. Yeah. Because sexual abuse or rape is one of the highest criminal activities, not only in Fiji but around the world. So we need to be always be attentive to our little ones. When you have your little ones with you, or as a father, or as an uncle, as an auntie, or as a grandparents, always watch over and always try to see if any indication, maybe from their school, from their friends, or even from relatives, because it can happen. And it's happening maybe once a week. We'll see or come through some news on sexual abuse, or just a normal abuse, on assault. And last few days or last week, we went through that child abuse. And there's, in so many areas, the abuse is continue to be exercised by the people that they think that they hold position in the society or in the relatives or maybe in our organization or even in the government or even in the church for that matter. So we must always be on watch all the time to wipe out and to minimize all this abuse that we are going through.
Yeah, I think it's a good awareness, just to have that awareness around us, and also the conviction thank you, and the conviction as just parents. We can get carried away with starting a new life, having a new life, but we fail to just to consider our children and successes that can change for them. The safety of your children, it's on you. And sometimes out of fear, because you love your new partner, and out of fear of being abused by your partner as well, you just take a back seat and watch that abuse to happen to you, but it's actually, done to your children. And I think, for me, that's no use for you to have that relationship, to live in fear and allow your partner to abuse your own children. I don't think that is proper.
I believe for those of you, especially for us men, that you are out there, whenever I hear this kind of news, father or stepfather abusing the children or abusing your wife, I really don't like you wherever you're watching from. I don't see any manly in you. I don't see any human character in you. For abusing your wife or abusing your children or abusing the children that they come through.
We can backtrack a bit to try and find out why do they abuse. Why there is a lot of, because according to the papers as well, I think it was on Thursday, there is an increase on domestic abuse, an increase of wife beaters, increase in domestic abuse on wives. I believe we need to backtrack a bit. If you look from their end, because like what you said, you have never seen your parents. I've never seen my parents. Not even, hear them to swear at each other or fight. I've never, we've never. That's why, it's easy for us to say that now when we look, say, how can you do that? And how can that happen? It's easy for us, it's easy for me to say that because I never lived, I was not brought up in an abusive atmosphere, at home, to witness my parents or to even live through it, to be able to understand what is happening. And it's good for us to talk about it because we can backtrack a bit, stand a bit back and try and understand how and why that happens. And why for me, looking at it, the contributing factors is a lot. It can be the substance you take, it can be drugs, or you can just be dope with grog. And you have a few, you're drunkard. And you come out your patience is very small, short, you're not normal. Yeah. Whatever it is from a normal person you were, with all these things that you take, make you abnormal. So when you're abnormal, you come and you lash out at anything when it's not according to what you want, and you always abuse the weak. You can't go and do that to their brothers. You can't go and do that to any other man, but you'll do it to the weak because they won't punch back. That they won't do anything to you. You're lashing out, venting out everything, the anger, the frustration you have, but at an innocent or weak person, they will not fight back. Yeah. And I believe that happens in a lot of relationships. It's either they're venting out their anger or they are having extramarital affairs. And if you're having extramarital affairs and you come home, nearly everything that they do, it's not right because you prefer whatever affairs that you're having and you're trying to find fault when you come home. So whatever fault you find, you don't just address it with love and talk about it, but you are abusive with your hands or swears and everything that is happening. So that's a lot of contributing factors that make people do the way that they do things.
There are a few things I want to share this morning, especially to those of us that are watching, especially for men. Number one is our background, where we come from. Because if we come from a background that we never see that our parents, especially our fathers, how they speak, how they talk to their wife or to our mothers. No, all those things, those are investment. Kembali o ta o kwe mula takikon to ni bakau o kwe te bakati ko na no mula mendare de tukai. So it's our background. And number two, the environment that we in. Sometimes we copy what happens in other families or what other men do to their wife, and we try to copy. If that man is doing to their wife, to the children, oh, I can also do this to my children or to my wife. So the environment that you in, and including the words that you hear, the movie that you watch. Sometimes the movie today is very violent and becoming normal to slap, to swear another person. So the environment you in, not only your background, is also your environment. Number three, the substance. Ongune angona, se kongunu umburu, se koderuglu. Any substance that affect how well you think and understand, that substance can be the cause of our abusive attitude. Any small problem or anything that is not right according to you, not according to the standard, just according to us. Ni siya nga ni sotabi ko nakakenda na numati ko sa totoo sarangan na lako nilinganda se nandun na abuse limo ko na bosa man na buta. We are very abusive, belittling the people around us, giving them names. Ya talaga na abuse. Totoo matanga kinabos na. Ni ko bosa da ko calling your wife or your children by names. Bago ito matalilia. Yung sa saran bitemo o yung sa all those abuse, it penetrates into their mind and sink into their soul. Maka kaulibikin na self-worthy. Goya so na ka and do baka muna to na abusive parents or abusive father. O sa kawati na mo background, o sa kawati na environment no tiko kina kina katulu na substance ko do baka muna to na mayapalata no bakasam. Do talaga na weather pattern man nangala ko tingo ko already tiko so na kina sa affect talaga na non the mood swings kenda roni den sartu nga sanango do nga nakalilay swing lingay sele sa resa ngo kibal mendangaro na tiko may kako ni affect ki kenda na environment o kamay da kina barua environment baleta na wali na tawno wali nga sa katakata ni ko katakata una ako katakata kina kako ni katakata ni ko alo katakata na kata-kata temperature may kawin tara na elong. Ni so nguna nguna nga ko kata-kata kina sa lako sarangan na sa kalati kina episode totally wabliko. Very abusive. According to the climate change observers.
When you mentioned that abusive language, it's normal now. It's like makatal to nabitan lang normal when they have those kind of swears coming out. Sa kind normal like.
Yeah, that a lot of people are affected without us realizing.
Yeah.
Kaya na naman tiko na mental problem. Niko sa ako. Yeah. Sana. Na mental problem. As long as you cannot control the things around you. Tama tika lang may so. Thun rumay. So na kapapala. Kiko lang ko tal na level ya. Kimro tutuwan sa ito. Yeah. Kimro tutuwan sa ito. When you are normal, when things are abnormal, you remain normal. Yan ang normal ya. Ini kuwa, lebu sa kami kenda, wili kina kerau. O kenda sa affect na kiti ko, nakakapagato kay tiko ko na climate change. Waling ako katata, sa katata sara. Sa total luda. Sa lolo, sa totolo, our patient level is very less. And our frustration in getting higher and higher. Kung nakakenda daw mo sa tatili, ubir na lumenda. Kung daw mo sa toro ng tagas, o kenda ni ko sa sena. Waling nga, pero ya, wako, tupa. Sinduro ko tuya, makailiw. Kembali, kenda sa nandami sa nga mga maalua, kenda sa nanggaro nga nung dambula. Ayaw man so nanguna, ni so nakaya sinindo, ni so nakaya sinibinaka. Sa daw tumbo sa nga, na temper sa iloma. Ya, na nung temper sa iloma, tiyong ano mo makasama, na ilomo, na muna ako sa nalako kina ikotuti, na ilomo, Niko chiko bataki na kalune halo tambo ko na control tagat ko. Ke kai senga ya na tumbu wa sar go tumbu wa sar wa kana be tumbu tumburi. Ya na muna. Ya na muna na criminal activity sa to sa tagat ko. Na senga ni indu na control tagaraw. Mana ba? Na temperature sa pressure na humid tu na tikon do na turanga. Vos ko na CNN na humidity tubo. Ya na muna lem tu na flash flooding. Balta na kata-kata ko sa tubo na kachikulo malangi. Galing miso tali may. May uda tali. Kung nauda yan, kito po kasawari ngayon bi. Ang noma na kito tiko may ikulolo. Siya nga, ito iprisapak. Ikulolo. Doon na uda tao na no ay iprisapak. Sa doon na uda bi. Leka-leka wala nga. Stop sarangan na gito. Stop sarangan na gito. Kito man nga gito sa. Kito yato sarangan na mo to ka. Baka nakalunga kami do lako do divisa ramay ber na kuribulu sarang gito outreach ni gito undambe sarang iloma ni motukan na kenam bisi ni udang o kito sinikla ni stop sarang nang gito iloma kembali kenda sa nanggagaraw ni tigo turang marama terbunong ni lewa senga niya do mga pinabunan da tigo kina senga adora ramba sartunga sa non daru itabi nga men daru gagaraw ni tunga nangaw na kede nga bula mama to wale ke tumbu mai ona ta ruru ke tumbu mai ota na ruru ke ro tumbu ro ko takina rangone ruru bal na bi tumbu yaki do tu ne bi tumbu yaki na ososa ni ro do kan ke ba ko do kan ke ba e bi tumbu yaki na wo mai takali ya saranga ke bal sa sindo na petan sa sindo na petan sa sinya do nga kinawa sa ito taling abi ko batakiyaw nasi ka binani ko ni do tumbu mai kala iko mo sto ka malu ruru megay kilay ko nga au kila ni saya do tiko magalim so bikenda ito bi ko na matiningalu ya sini be buke iko smile to nga mo sto ka malu ko ni ko sa ngalu sara ko ni ko alokat ko ni ko sa ngalu sara this side to the far left o chako ko sara to the far right saya toka nga na mo ilo mo do mosto ka malu ruru na sabi kento na ruru ta kebro tiko bagay sa ni ro sa tumro na kaborna ni kana kambas katuleka na to lo da na pusi pirta ki na
hello I think it's patience as well there's a lot you can talk about why those things happen because it can be the trust you have for each other. And when that is betrayed, it takes you to another level. You know, you always ask yourself, why that small thing and why you're so worked up? Because of something, you know, that you break. And especially so for husband and wife, the trust that you have for each other. When that is betrayed, I don't know about others, but for me, when that is betrayed, that's it. You know, it's like there's no use for that relationship. Because the trust you had once, it's no longer there. And it's different the way we handle it. So some of us, we go through that and we don't want anything to do with that, anything. And some of us, we bottle it and then everything and every time something come up, you're always resorting back to what it is. So there is a lot of contributing factor. Not only the substance, not only the climate change, it's the trust you have for each other. It's what you once had but no longer there. And there's a lot. And then you get carried away with your socializing group, like in your own circle of friends, from work, or from church, or from the community. So when you come home, it's like being, reminded of your responsibility. Because when you go out socializing, clubbing, drinking grog, or just hitting one bar to another, and having a good time. But when you come home, then you're faced with realities of your responsibility. And those little things, it creates you to be the person you are. So you hit out, like you don't want to be reminded of your responsibility. It's like you're not ready. Either you're not ready for it, or you're tired of those responsibilities. So you're hardly at home. And the only time you're coming home, you create fights and create all these things. And without knowing, it becomes the normal for homes. And even for the children growing up, before they can be quiet, listening into all this abuse happening around them. But as they grow and they come of age, then they start taking sides, and that creates more fights in the family. So there's a lot of abusive relationship that we can say not only stemming out from the packages that you bring from your previous relationship, but for your current relationship if it's not handled well. And in all things, try and find that trust. Because I believe once you have that trust towards each other, you'll always value it, and they become the priority in your lives. So wherever you go socializing, you can go clubbing, but you always have trust, which means you'll always demarcate and draw a line with your other relationship with other people around you, because you value the relationship you have from home. But if you're sharing the relationship from home with any Tom, Dick, and Harry, then expect all those upheavals in the house to happen. I'm just blessed. I have a lot of, like, my household is male-dominated. All our grandchildren, they are mostly male. The only girl that is running around the house is Leikila. My other two granddaughters, they only come in the weekend home. So it's sort of like male-dominated. But I'm really blessed with the fact that you don't hear fights, you don't hear abuse, you don't hear them, yelling at each other. And I'm blessed with it. I'm blessed with that atmosphere, that they're able to control themselves, that they're able to live normal, considering the age group that they're in. Like they are in their 19, supposedly 18, 17, 18, and 16. For you to expect all those things to happen. But, it becomes a normal. Well, you can hear the background music. This is the music for their dining room. Faithfully, they can off it. But other than that, well, except the fact we have some boom boom music happening at our background for this morning.
Yeah, we are talking about what is affecting abuse and maybe a change of attitude, character. But we have one solution that we always share at the end of our sharing. But when we come to terms with what's happening around us, it's always good to sit back, check where we can correct ourselves, check where we can discuss with people around us, check the time we can sit together as family, as a devotion for us Christian, especially dinner time, family talk. Sometimes a good time to talk is when we cook, when we prepare together. That's a beautiful time of having conversation, when we cook together, or when we have meal together, or devotion together. Those are the times.
It's like
it's beautiful.
Our Sunday atmosphere at home. Our Sunday atmosphere at home. After the church service in the morning, everybody to the kitchen. And if you're having the service again in the afternoon, then it's bread, cutting off the long loaves, and making your own, like tomatoes or whatever that you want to throw inside that bread. And other than that, if you have nothing happening in the evening or in the afternoon, then it's cooking for us. Whatever it is, it's like all hands on deck. And by the time you eat, little time is spent on the eating, but more time on the preparation that brings that bonding.
Yeah, I see that's the most beautiful part of our Sunday.
Yeah.
Apart from the church service and God, I see that's the most wonderful time for our family. For me, just to sit there and see you people all doing this and doing that, to me, that's the most beautiful part. After service finish at 12, and just sit there. Sometimes you come to the kitchen and just taking up the space, so I have to go. I never peel the potato and I don't wash the dish, so I might as well go and sit there.
Is it ready? So, and then you have the little ones, the little girls parading from one end to another. El Nekela, big bossy.
And complaining about everybody blocking her. But those, to me, those are the most beautiful part of Sundays or family time. When I see people, I mean, you're talking about long loaf on Sunday. Before we came to this ministry, oh, I tell you, Sunday is a Sunday. Ikabakalolo, duruka, gay, na lemsen, vide babi na toa, parade to na delantibeli.
Normal Sunday.
Yeah, normal Sunday.
Sunday feast.
But now it's really changed. I love the bread with butter and then with tomato, lettuce. Gay kebakaya little na kesanga just pure tomato and lettuce and butter. And
With the peanut butter and jam, or with Vegemite and jam, or peanut butter with banana. It's beautiful, nice, beautiful, and having the nice long loaf. Oh, nothing beats that. Well, That's for our Sundays and that's for our family. So as you're listening in this morning, it's the beginning of the year. Try and ask yourself how far you have gone. What have you contributed to your family? What have you saved? And also the little things you can do to make a difference for your home. And plan it from the beginning. Plan that you're going to take your family out for the year. I do that every year. Last year we managed to go for a break with our family, the whole family. Even having my daughter and her handsome husband all the way from Germany to join us for that outing as well. So for this year, now I've finished planning for administratively for the church. We have the company that we work in and what it demands. So I'm trying to look for slots and we are discussing it with my family during devotion to tell them, this is what the program looks like, this is what the year looks like. We'll try and have one of these events that we can all go together. So while we're doing, otherwise we are also using it as a family bonding time. And try and make that plan. Nobody has the money all the time, but you can create that. You can work towards it. You can save it. If somebody come and bless you with the $10, you can put aside that $10. No, give you $20 to spend. You save $10. Give you $10, you save $5. And all those money, it adds up and helps you with your family outing. Yeah. I would really strongly recommend. I'm a very strong advocate when it comes to family. Even when we speak to our ministry leaders on every Monday, and I know they're tuning in this morning as well. One thing that I always try and end or start with is family. I'm a very strong advocate when it comes to family. I value my family. I love my family. And for me, life, apart from serving God, because I'm a Christian, apart from doing the things for His kingdom, then my family is priority. Nobody ever takes my family's place in my heart. And everything that I do is family-oriented. Whether it's going to be for the ministry or for the company that I work in, it has to be family-oriented because I love my family. And I've been doing it for the last few years, and I would like to recommend on this table, on the Family Table Talk, please set aside some undivided attention time and save up for some moment you can take your family out and enjoy moments with each other. We have a lot of people in our office, they do that. They go out, they take their family. We have Jackie and the daughter who always go all the way to America, spend it with her mother, and take a week or two to do that. We have Stanley and his family. They usually come down to the Western Division, making use of their, they have their shares in one of the hotels out here in Nandi that he always said, okay, I'm going for the week, or I'm going for a few days. I'm going with Stereo with all the children. We're all going down. And sometimes, like, you can be all lying down in the room and staying in the room. They feel so bored and they are always on their phone. But at least you have a setup that everybody is away from home and together in one place and having each other's attention. So try and work towards achieving that. If you haven't done it for the years of your life, try in 2024 for you to be able to achieve it. But if you have been doing it, well, congratulations. Look out for more opportunities. Go out cruises and other things that you can do for yourself. Yeah.
While we're still on family, for parents, look out on the drugs abuse
for
young people. And that's something that we cannot turn a blind eye.
Yeah, know the signs.
Yeah.
I don't even know the signs when somebody's doing drugs.
Signs, red eyes, and even the body. You can see in the body, you can see in the eyes, the face. Even you see, if you meet them, the eyes are really not steady. So always on the lookout that the drugs is really affecting our young people. And if people, the intelligence of the police or out there, they share, you will be surprised on how the drugs are penetrating into our community. Now young people can be there, sitting with the family, but they can be a vehicle, and they are, or can be one of those that they really are pushing even on the drugs. Yeah, even in schools, school children are being used. So what we are trying to say, don't think that the world is 100% around you. No, there are always something that it's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. And the drug bust that happened in Nandi, that's only the tip in the iceberg. There are a lot of problems already. You talking about substance abuse. I tell you, it's really something that every parents that we must keep on watch with your children when they go to school. Try to pick out anything that is not normal. They start to do. Every time I will hold hands with our grandsons for years. Now we have two. Now we have three. Two in high school and one still in primary school. I always try to look at them in their eyes when they come back. And I'll try to see their behavior. Just be careful. We encouraging us. If you really worried or careful of your children, you watch over something that try to always look for any sign in the early stage.
It's not that you're trying to find fault in them, but just to be aware. Like when he's saying it this morning, I don't even know the signs. I may have read it, but I don't even know the signs. But if you're a believer and you're a Christian, for me, the best thing you can do is pray with them. Have your devotion. Try and find time in the evening. Like what I always say to our church, if you can't do it every day, you have at least to do it twice a week. Have some time to sit with your family and your children for them to hear you. And not only that, try as much in the morning to pray with them before they go to school, which I would like to thank my husband for doing that. Every morning, like every day, they will not leave the house until they pray in the morning. And sometimes we get carried away in the morning, busy, doing other things in the room. Then you'll hear a knock on the door and they say, we are about to leave. Can we pray? So it becomes normal for them that they will not leave the house until we pray. And I'm talking to you, Christian. There are a lot of things happening around us that we may not control. You're not always with them for you to be able to supervise them. Your only, your only trust can be in God to look after them, and having that and instilling that a conviction in your children's heart by having devotion to talk to them about those things, and by praying, knowing that they need prayers to cover them and to look after them. For us, every little thing is prayer. When we travel to Suva, or as long as we're living Suva, we have a place that we call a prayer point. As long as we are going back to Suva, we have a place that we call prayer point in Nandi. And we have some prayer points for the family. And if they are going to go and play or go for movies, or if they are going before we have our devotion in the evening, and they will come and say, oh, no, that's happening now. And we are going. And I look at the time and I know that they won't be there for devotion. So it's a prayer, like standing prayer before they go out the door. And everything we do is prayer. And I believe it has worked. It has worked for my family. It has worked for my grandsons. I don't go looking out or watching their eyes or trying to check them out to know. I trust the values that I've shared with them. I trust the moment we sit down together in our devotion. I trust the moment that we hold hands and we pray together. I trust that they know what's good for them and they're convicted to make that right decision. So as parents, you have to be careful as well on how you approach these things. Sometimes just because all other children do it, because of your assumptions, maybe you mean well as you ask them, but they can be offended. It's like, I've been keeping clean all this time. I've never even thought about touching that. And now you are telling me, asking me whether I do it. So you have to be very careful in the way that you handle, especially for your grown-up children when they reach their teens. Because they are surrounded with friends that are already in it. So they spend more time with their friends in school than you at home. So the only moment that they have with you, you don't even have that time with them for your devotion. And you don't even have that time for you to pray together. So it becomes a house, not a home. So what about for 2024? You change your house to be the home. And make your home to be home. And a home is everybody talking to each other. A home is we belong to this home, we are family. And a home is you know what's happening in a home. A house can be any other hotel, can be any other accommodation. You come in, place to sleep, have something to eat, you're walking out. There's no connection between the people that are living in the house. But the home, there is a lot of connection. As husband and wife, as mother to child, father to child, or as a family. There's a lot of connection there. So let us work towards 2024 and change our house to be home. And for those of us that are already making home a home, try and make it a little bit better for 2024. Just a little sharing yesterday, like we were going in the car with my 2 grandchildren. I was sitting with them at the back seat of this car. My youngest granddaughter, she's quick-tempered, and she's very vocal. She speaks her mind out, very vocal. And when we were in the car with her older brother, and we were talking. And as we were talking, the kids, they tease each other. So he said something. And she was standing in between the mother and the father were driving, at the front seat, and she was standing in the middle there. I was on this side, and the brother was on the other side. In an instant, like we're busy talking, and he just said something, then we both laughed. And I just saw this hand swing, punch his face. I said, what happened? She's very short-tempered. Like, she'll talk to, and then after that she said, I don't like what he said. It doesn't mean when you don't like anything that he says and your hands are flying out. She's very fast with her hand. Her hand will speak first, and after that, then she will explain later. And she does a very good job in explaining herself out. So by the end of her explanation, he becomes, the victim, and not her. And so yesterday we end up laughing. And I said, you must apologize. And I sat her down and I said, look, I want to tell you something. You cannot, fly your hand to anything that you don't like. No, you need to stand back and listen and don't use your hand. If anything you don't like, you explain. The explanation you explain to me, you do that first. You reverse. Not the hand first, you explain first. And if you think that you need to fly your hand, then you fly your hand. But not like this. So yesterday we all end up laughing. Why I'm bringing to this table? And that's what family is. Like you need to know their strength. You need to know their weakness. You need to find time to address it and correct it while it's still small. Because if not, that upbringing makes them, define them. They grow up thinking that is correct. So I do that a lot with my grandchildren. I single them out. I take them on the side. And if I say, okay, we're having a meeting. If I tell somebody that we're having a meeting, that grandchild of mine will, his or her mind will be going, okay, what is it? It's like Nana's trying to tell me something. And our meeting with the older brother, we've started from Suva. Yesterday, we finalized our meeting here in this dining room. So I called him and said, our meeting hasn't finished yet. So he came, he sat on the chair, we finished our meeting. Little things that they do. Like this particular grandson of mine, if I ask, because he's always thinking like, I don't want to be a burden. And I can read his mind. He doesn't want to be a burden. Say if we are going, driving out in Suva, and I turn back to them and said, okay, anybody wants to eat anything? Shall we go to McDonald's? The young one would say, okay, I'll have nuggets, please. I'll have all my 4 there, the 2 girls, the 3 girls and him. And yes, me too, me too. And with him, he will look and say, no, it's okay, Nana. I won't have anything. I said, sure, you don't want anything? No, I don't want anything. So we'll drive through. We'll buy the things for the 3 girls. And as we go out, maybe 30 minutes later, because they're all eating, then he'll pop his head to me, and then he says, Nana, I can eat something. Then I looked to him and I said, I thought you said you don't want to eat anything. Okay. So I can read that. He says that because he doesn't want to be a burden, because he looks at the whole 4 of them, then is buying their food. So he thought he's doing me a favor by saying, it's okay, Nana. So I can read him. And now whenever we go, even if I ask him, he said, no, thank you, I'll still buy it. Because it can be 10 or 20 minutes later, he's asking, Nana, I'm hungry, can I eat something? So I said, okay, we are going to have a meeting. So I took him on the side at home and I said, look, whenever you say that, I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to say it's okay because you're trying to save me from spending extra money because there's a lot of you. But you're not doing me a favor. When you want to eat later, then it makes me think, okay, what am I going to give you because I didn't prepare anything. So if you notice, every time now when you want to eat, I always have something ready. You know why? Because I don't want to take your answer. I'm buying things. So I want to correct that. So I was talking to him and I said, I want to correct that. I want you, if you really want to eat, you say, yes, Nana, I would like that. Or if you're not really, really hungry, and you'll say, I'll still get it, but I will eat later. So yesterday was our final stage of our meeting we had in the dining room. So now, if I'm asking at home, okay, anybody wants me to make the hot drink, Sonny, you want a Milo? And he'll be looking at me. Before, automatically he'll say, it's okay. Now he's looking at me and I'm saying, remember. They said, yes, then I would like a Milo. Why I'm sharing this, like when you have a home and you have your family, you will know their behavioral pattern. You will know, them individually, like for your children. For me, it's my grandchildren. And I even know that with my children. I know what all my children want, what their preferences are. Now it's my grandchildren. So when you know all that, it may sound so, like, okay, I don't need that. It's too much to take on. Just by understanding that, then you're creating a home. You are concerned. There may be 7 grandchildren running at the same time in my house, but every individual of them, if they come to me, they will know that I will give them their attention, and they know that I will give them to eat what they like eating. I know each and every one of them, how they eat, what they eat. If they eat fish, I know how they eat their fish. One likes the head, the other one likes the tail, the other one doesn't want to even see the skin, just the flesh. I know all of my grandchildren. So we would like to come to an end of this program just for you to spend a little bit more time for your family, identify their likes and then their dislikes, and allow them to really feel that your home is a home for them. They don't like going out because they feel the love of the house and the love inside the home is far better than anything the world can offer outside that home. So thank you for joining us. We have about, 8 minutes left. I'll give this time to Gasalevo to share whatever that comes by with everything that we've covered, from the abusive relationship to the package you bring to your relationship, to your current home, and how you can make that better, and how we can strive to have 2024 to be the great year for all of us.
Once again, I'll mention, if you want to keep your marriage, it's a lot of patience and a lot of big heart, because nobody, not even one, is 100%. Along the way, there will be some hiccups here and there. Some people, they know what they're doing. Some people, they don't know what they're doing. So we need 2 good forgivers and a lot of patience to continue with the relationship. When it comes to family, whatever baggage that you receive, maybe you married a woman that is already have children or a child, or you married a man with children or a child. From the beginning, try to show what's really your intention. If you want to go with that relationship, then you have to go through that relationship. When it comes to family time and family members, it's the most beautiful time. As I said before, it's a cooking time. Number 2, it's a dinner time. Number 3, it's a devotion time. And the last one is a time that you travel together, a time that you go to town together, a time that you in the car together. Those are the time, the beautiful time that your children will always remember.
Yes.
Now, when it comes to the attack on our young people, as I said before, the abusive drugs that have been a problem in Fiji today, don't turn a blind eye.
Yeah.
No, it's something that you don't go and look into. Look at me. No, it's a sign that it stand out. It stand out like a sore thumb, and can stand out from as early as possible. You can notice that, and that's the time you start to nurture. You start to draw them closer to you and show them the love that it will not be met out there by the people out there, by their friends out there, or even the substance out there. And that is the love in the home.
When you talk about the drugs, the effects of it, like when you take it, what does it do? It's something like when you take hot stuff in drinks.
It's just like it takes you to another level. It takes you that the things that are right will be wrong. It's dangerous, It starts from what we call tobacco and agona. Every step that you take, it takes you to another level. And if you have been taking substance, as human being, you want to go to another level, eh? And that's why
no longer giving you that
satisfaction.
so
That's why drugs is something that people steal from prison. And sometimes they will look at somebody, and that somebody can be somebody else. No, they can look at their mother, and their mother can be their girlfriend. no? And they look at a horse, and that man can be out. It's so dangerous. And what are other substances that we don't realize now that are coming? You know? And that's why it's very important for us parents. There are early indicators. Their lips, it's getting change colors, and sometimes even the flicking of their eyes. Baka susuri ba totolo, baka talangay biledaki. Nandabital no kini baka sa, uy kutunan sindura ka, sa do talaka sa tunjumay, dadan tuna tribu. Sabi dalat ito ko nabital no. Those are some of extreme signs, but there are some early signs. And that's why I said, you don't go and take your son and look at me. No, it's from the side you observe them. You can only do that when you are concerned about your grandchildren or your children. So we want to encourage you today. Not only that, for us that we take position in the church, we take position in the community. I believe this is something that drugs, even in the church, ina banua rotumanda vital nota kili muna kanda vital nota tu dami manda kadi maurna dorbo dami dumanda ngunci just like this ngai da vital nota tu kadi so eraken andau gonna effects ni drugs, gonna effects ni kago me da kilanga.
We need to create more awareness on the effects, because when they know the effects, then they will think twice.
When you know the result, then you will think again. It's just like examination. When you have a good result, you will study hard. You can They
need to be told more.
And nakango wagaw si weekend na kenda tu na korwabiti. Ito na nonda boss e banua, ito nonda boss ba koro. So na boss kenda sa boss tu na turanga. Idu na kada vital nota tu. Rotomanda, dumanda na singa na. Tara sarana ba tuno, ta tumanda do nguntingi, ta kana kena vital no. Na vital no sa bibar ramataki. Au wambo ta ni Natali taka, kuren na tambongoni. Ni rapakarara mataki na sona ka endodonu. Mera pakarara mataki kina. Yo sabo ngai robika rona miniti, karobia katale, na buno binagango na sama na ni hotel ngo Crown Plaza, the plaza. Not the plaza in Dundee, not the plaza in Lautoka, not in Suva, the Crown Plaza here in Newtown in Wailoaloa. Kaya baka mani ngande mo sa ngo tuwinto ngo na romandanga may katalo mandanga. Sinti ko kina may katalo mandanga. Na utsalang ngo kito na dure namin kito li katalo. Kito na gendo talango na kito na may dabike na gaita na talon sesan di na kasarto nga na katalaw. Meron ni karo na barita kina nakakana bina ka baka kito.
Beautiful service and beautiful place. And that's a good roundup, a wrap up on the family and the awareness. Just to create that more awareness on the effects of drugs. Because once you know the awareness, I believe for most of these children, they do it because they are pressured by their peers or by their friends. Most of them, they go into doing these things without even knowing the effects. And not only that, some of them out of curiosity, are curious to know, okay, if you take that, what happened? And out of their curiosity, once they started, they cannot stop themselves. So they become addiction. It becomes an addiction other than just what it was intended for from the beginning. So let us help our nation. Let us help our family. And let us start doing the little things we can do. We cannot be all out there creating that awareness, but we can start from our home. We can start making our home our home. We can hug our children and tell them, thank you. Don't just wait for them to make an error or wait for them to make mistake and then you start rambling out your swears and your counseling and everything that you dish out at them. But also when they're, doing good and they don't bring any problem to you, take the time. Hug them and say, man, thank you, son. Thank you, Luvengo. Thank you for just being who you are. I'm so grateful. So take the time to, tap their back and say, thank you for being good. And also, if they make wrong decision, have the time to sit and guide them through and correct what they think was right. But with your counseling, will help them come to know the reality of where they are and what are the effects of what they're doing. So on that note, we all love our family. I love my family, and I'm really looking forward to this weekend. It's a time that I can see everybody together. and spending more time with them. Yesterday was my time with my 2 little ones. So today the bigger boy is going to watch the game, watch their brother play, and they also have their friends, Carlos and Junior here. So I'm looking forward to the evening that we can all have a sit down. And tomorrow after the church service, then it's like a long drive back to Suva. And in the weekend, I can say to myself, I've done my part. I've provided something that we can always remember, and I have a one-to-one moment with them. So last night, after talking to my daughter, a very long conversation we have on the phone, and our rooms are just not far apart from each other. But we had a lot to talk about and just talking on the phone. And just when I thought that I'd go to sleep, then my phone rang, my grandson calling from the camp, the rugby camp where he was. So there we go, talk again. And then he says, oh, Nana, our light's out at 10 o'clock. Now it's 9:45. I said, okay, we'll keep on talking until the light goes off. And like those moments, the moment that you can create, the moment you can have with your family. You may not be able to see them physically, but if you are divided and staying in a different place because of work or other things that you cannot control, some of them in Australia, New Zealand for this PALM program, and you're here in Fiji, or maybe you're in the islands, and they're here in Suva, whichever way it goes. If you don't meet them physically, try and make that connection. There's a lot of things available on your phone that you can make it happen, either on Viber. We are always on Viber. Some of you are on Facebook. So there are a lot of things that you can create for you not to have an excuse that you cannot talk to your family every day. Make it your business to talk to your family every day and create a home in your home and take your home with you and place that importance of your home in your heart, because that will define the person you are. On that note, thank you so much. And also we would like to say thank you to our crew. They're all here from Suva. We have the MPT team, Talanga Simao and all his team coming out in his handsome sons that are here with us. And also we have the MyTV team. We have Anna Ren Chovedi here. And not forgetting the executive media team. We have Nimi and Nemani and all the team that came from Suva. Just to make this happen and to bring this program to the comfort of your home. And also if you can hear us just audio and not being able to watch us, we have a team that made it happen. And thank you, Talanga Sitai, for this morning. And also thank you, Crown Plaza, for this setup. Thank you, Meme, for bringing this setup across. And thank you for the free lattes we've been having on our show this morning. On that note, see you next Saturday at 7:30 a.m.
If you're free this afternoon, see you at Korevolu.
Yeah.
Come and hear the gospel.
Yes.
The most important thing of the most important. The heart of the matter is the heart of the matter. So see you at Korevolu at 3 o'clock. And if you're free tomorrow, at Korevolu again at 8 o'clock. And 10:30, power, God of.
If you have no place to go, or if you're coming to watch the games, if you're going in and you're rushing, fine. You sit inside Princess Park, your ear out. And if your team loses and then you say to yourself, I'm not going to watch this, just come to outside, Korevolu, and finish your Sarangito there. That's why it's called Sarangito Outreach. That's for today. And tomorrow, Power in the Word and God of our Nation. Oh, you will not be disappointed. Come join us. Beautiful items, powerful testimonials. We are looking forward to have you on board with us. If you cannot physically be there, tune in on MyTV Facebook and also on the ministry Facebook page. So we're looking forward to provide this service to you. And thank you for joining us.
Maka
family is an epitome of God's love towards mankind. God designed us to live in families, and the Bible reveals that family relationships are important to Him.
But as a believer, do you feel that you are still struggling?
Maybe you're still struggling with your relationship,
Struggling with your finances?
struggling at work,
With your social life?
or with your spiritual life.
We invite you to join us
On our Family Table Talk every Saturday,
at 7:30 a.m. on my TV.
or catch us on our Facebook page.